Welcome back to A Celtic State of Mind. I'm Paul John Dykes, and today, live from Easter Road, well, I'm not, I am joined by Tony Haggerty and Laura Bradburn. We may not be at Easter Road, but Natasha Meikle is, and we are going to dial you in. Natasha, what did you make of that first half?
Yeah, good. Well, firstly, great to be here, of course. But no, it was good first half. I thought Celtic really controlled possession, particularly in the first 20, and created a good few chances. Moy on 12 minutes, finding himself right through in goal, tried to go around Marciano, and it didn't quite come off. And then we've got another great chance for Elyounoussi when we get to 24 minutes. McGregor found him with a great ball after a great passing move by Celtic, and it required a great save from Marciano, to be fair, who Hibs are really going to miss. But I suppose the biggest talking point of the first half is going to be Edouard's goal, isn't it? As we saw, just to hit the free kick, Colin blew the prism issue he had with the wall, but the ball went in the net. The Celtic camp certainly aren't happy. They thought the goal should have stood, and I have to say I agree. I don't see this one ending goalless with the amount of chances that we're creating, but we shall see. What did you guys make of it there in the studio?
It was interesting. I noticed when you posted an image of Easter Road, someone said that they wondered if Willie Collum would influence this game. Tony, what was your thoughts on that free kick, the goal that never was?
The man with a double phallic name. Yeah, Willie Collum. Yeah, okay. That says it all really about that decision, doesn't it?
What a finish, Laura. It's a shame that obviously, Odsonne Edouard, we are guessing, is signing off today. We are guessing. I'd be amazed if we see Odsonne Edouard in a Celtic jersey next season. That would have been a fitting way to sign off, a goal from that free kick.
Yeah, it was quite a breathtaking free kick, to the point where I didn't even realise for a little bit after it that it had been chopped off. It was just kind of, I was too busy going wow, but and it's a glimpse of what we'll miss if he does go. But in not the same terms as Tony said, I'll stick more with what Natasha said and say I was surprised to see it chopped off, disappointed in what was probably the only really notable big event of the first half, I would say.
He's got to explain that decision though, because Odsonne was struck the ball, and the ball's in flight, and he's blown the whistle for something in the wall. The ball's not sailing into the top corner. So clearly, benefit of doubt and all that, whatever's happened in the wall has not affected where that ball's going. So, Willie's got to come out and say what he saw there and explain to fans, because fans are left baffled by that decision there. Completely and utterly. And that's the inconsistencies that drive you mental. He has to say something about that.
Yeah, I mean, see, I was imagining actually around about that time, Tony, being under normal circumstances, the kind of reaction at Easter Road, for example. Natasha is there. And I'm trying to picture what it's like, because you're going to hear all the shouts from the players. You're going to hear the disgust from the dugout. What is it actually like to be in the stadium, Natasha? Is it a bit of a strange atmosphere?
It is a bit strange. The strangest thing is, like you said, with it being empty, you can hear absolutely everything that's said on the pitch and that's said on the touchline, and that the players have said to each other and to the referee. The Celtic camp weren't happy. We know that from up here. We could hear it. I would probably have complained a bit more if I was honest on the pitch. I don't know if many of the players put up much of a protest. Edouard certainly looked disappointed that such a wonderful goal was chopped off, but there were certainly complaints down on the dugout here.
Now, again, pretty uninspiring, misfiring, etc. Tony, first half, what would you do? Perspiring, absolutely. What would you do? Would you shake it up a bit? I think that there was a bit of self-preservation by John Kennedy with the initial lineup. Would you mix it up a bit at half time? Is it too soon? We're not used to seeing changes at half time, are we?
No, we're not. But you've got to throw wee Karamoko on there and jag it up a bit, liven it up, because that's a training match. Let's not kid yourself. That's, my feed that ended up listening to Hibs TV, and the commentator was banging on about how Ali McLeod, the former Hibs player, scored a free kick, and the referee did what Willie Collum did, and then gave him it back, and he plonked it into the top corner, the same place. It's just like, because there's nothing else happening. So that's the kind of stuff you're having to listen. Just so you've got that wee guy at your disposal. Let him loose, as I've said. Just throw him on, and get some kind of spark going. It is a typical end of season fair, isn't it? It's like the two teams can't wait to get off the park by the looks of it.
It seems that way. I mean, talking of spark, we've got Sparky on the bench as well, Natasha. Do you think we're going to see a final appearance, perhaps, of Lee Griffiths today at Easter Road, ironically enough?
I think possibly. Just watching the sub warm-up, they're all going through a fairly full warm-up for half-time. So Boris certainly doing a lot of running. We might see him coming on. But I would certainly expect Kennedy to mix up in the second half. I mean, he's got the last 45 minutes of the season. There's no reason not to give a run out to players like Dembele. The fans want to see it. There's no reason not to. We saw that Kennedy was happy to go in the last game, so hopefully he'll get a bit longer than this one, and we'll see him come on not too long into the second half.
Well, we are delighted that you are there in the rough of it, really, at Easter Road, and it's brilliant. And we'll dial you back in at full time for your thoughts on the game in its entirety as well, Natasha. If Bruni chucks his jersey into the crowd, see if you can maybe catch it as well at the end of the game, and we'll see you at full time. Absolutely brilliant. Now, Laura, interestingly enough, I mean, we've fought long and hard to get into the stadium, and it's at Easter Road. Unbelievably, on social media, people are giving ACSOM stick for that. So you're providing them with an extra element to the game. You're live at Easter Road. You're bringing in Natasha, who has watched Celtic's every kick this season. Yet it's still not good enough. I find that bizarre, that attitude.
Yeah. The only thing I can think that is based on is, and I say this as somebody who has this exact feeling right now, is I wish it was me. I wish I was there. I wish I was watching that game in that stadium, taking it in, and everybody's hurting at the fact that they're not at the football. So anybody that gets the chance to go and do that in whatever capacity it's in, there's maybe a bit of people just wishing it was them instead. But I don't see how watching the output that we've put out all season, every day pretty much, bar the odd day at the weekend where there's not a game or anything, we're trying to provide an improvement in quality, an improvement in what we provide for people to watch, and give them a closer look at the game, especially in this situation when they can't be there. Mm-hmm. So to me, there's no downside to it.
No, there is no downside. And again, it's one of these things in relation to, as you say, trying to increase the quality of the content as well. So we'll continue to do that, despite any kind of negativity. And on one hand, we're talking about let's engage, let's get in amongst these games, let's be closer to the action. But on the other hand, the minute you do it, what makes you think you've got the right to go to the games and we don't? Tony Haggerty. It's just one of these things.
I'm going to jump in a pile-on here and say you're more booze Cruise than Tom Cruise, right? Okay, so there you go.
You got me at a vulnerable moment there, Anthony Haggerty.
Vulnerable moment, yeah, of course.
But I'll take it.
Can I just clarify the comparison to Tom Cruise was the comparison began and ended with the fact that PJ dropped in.
I know.
If it had been, oh God, I don't even know who the comparison is. It just happened to be Tom Cruise, but that is unfortunately for you, PJ, where the comparison began and ended.
I know, and you know what? They're an unforgiving bunch, aren't they? Our commenters. So please,
I'll give you a quick tale. I remember saying to Alan Kernigan once when he played and he managed Clyde, I think it was, and we were talking, and he never trained all week. And then played the game on the Saturday. And then one of the guys asked a question and said, that was kind of, in fact, it was myself, said, kind of Paul McGrath, that he would never train all week and then play the game and he'd be outstanding. And I happened to say to him, I said, but to be fair, I said, Paul McGrath, I says, that's where the comparisons end, right? You never trained all week, you played the game. That's what Paul McGrath did. I said, the comparisons kind of end there. And he shot me this glance and he looked at me and said, how many £1 million moves did you make in your career, Tony? And it was just like, brilliant. I was like, touche, nice one. Like that, And then at the end, he came up to me and says, here you. And I turned around and I went, sorry. I says, I was trying to be flippant, trying to be funny. And he went, aye. You got it back, and I loved that. I thought that kind of stuff was good. You know, it was you liked that, and they respected you more a bit.
Of course, Tony.
You know, so these things happen, and I did say to him, I never made any £1 million moves in my career. So.
You've brought back a memory that maybe had been in the deepest recesses in my mind there, where I tried to be funny with Chris Sutton once in front of a large crowd at a live event, and he absolutely owned me when I decided to ask him about his international career only lasting one game. One more international cap than you've effing got, Paul. And everybody in the room agreed with him and jeered me. It was great. You know, so I can take it. I can take it.
You live for those moments. You know what I mean?
Electronically or in real life, I can take the flack. It's absolutely fine. And I'll bring in the nice comments as well. Bernadette, the ACSOM team have been in better form than the players this season. Thank you very much for that. We do appreciate everybody tuning in. You can't impress or otherwise everybody all the time. So there we go. Looking at the first half as well, though, any other points? I mean, I've got here, I was again, and I loathe to use it as an opportunity to criticise too many people, but I just think, you know, Kenny has shown himself up again as being well off the kind of standard that we would be looking for, I guess, for next season. Loses the ball far too often, and often, Laura, in areas 30 yards from his own goal, and you know, we're left scrambling, we give away corners. He's done it quite a few times today. Yeah, I mean, I think the lesson we all learned from this is if Carlo Ancelotti's willing to let you go, then you need to think twice about whether you want to sign him, because he's shown himself to be pretty average against some pretty average teams, and I think that's what frustrates me more than anything, is his distribution. It's really, really poor, and from that kind of a position, if it is as poor as that, you can put a lot of your teammates in a lot of bother, and he seems to do that frequently. So yeah, definitely want the quality of whoever plays at right back next season, whoever it may be, to be of a higher standard than that. Unfortunately, our only option is looking like Christopher Ayer, if we can get another centre back in, and if he stays, or Anthony Ralston, and that is where the problem lies. It is, and on the point of Ayer, I do think he's played fairly well this afternoon. His usual runs, his galloping runs, turning defence into attack, have been pretty frequent in the first half as well. Can I just stop you there? There was only one player that turned defence into attack, and we all know the song. It's Jackie McNamara. I'll not be having that. If we're talking about right backs, I'll give you that one, Laura. Now,
these hoops were white and green, allegedly.
Yes.
So, yeah.
The second half has kicked off, so I'll get back to my Twitter discussion with the gentleman who's slagging us off, and enjoy the second half, and we'll see you at full time. Thanks for joining us on A Celtic State of Mind.
Thank you.